When I was a little girl, my report cards came in butterscotch colored envelopes. When you pulled them out, they were Easter egg green, blue, or yellow. And I loved getting my report cards because I wanted to read the comments on the back. And from kindergarten through 4th grade, all the comments were the same. If Kimmy would entertain her work as much as she entertains the class. If Kimmy would spend as much time at her desk as she does mine telling stories. If Kimmy would just not talk so much and apply herself appropriately. I would take that report card home and get in line with all the other children lagging in the back, and I would get to the front. And before my mother even looked at it, she'd start shaking her head. I would hand it to her and she'd read the back. And every time she wrote the same comment back. We've tried everything. And it was that way until I met Mrs. Ort, or rather she met me. Mrs. Ort was a ramrod straight woman, pencil skirt, button-down shirt, rubber-soled shoes, a shellacked hive of hair, thin red lips, and she was awesome. She did not call me Kimmy, Carrot Top, Kim. She called me Kimberly. And about 2 weeks into her class, I did something to draw her attention to me, and she said, Kimberly, you have a gift. It is the gift of gab, and with it you could rule the world. And I was like, I knew it! I was so excited whenever report card time came. I ran up to get it, went back to my desk, slid it out, was so excited to read the comment. And there on the back, she had written, Kimberly is a pure delight. I went home, pushed the other kids out of the way. Went to my mom, like, Mom, you got to read this. She's like, I just want to wait a while. I said, no, Mom, please, just read the comments. And she opened it up, turned it over, read it, and looked at me. She looked back at the report card. She picked up a pen and wrote a comment, slid that report card in and said, take this back to your teacher. I waited to the next day on the bus to pull it out and see what she had written. I didn't want to encourage a conversation I did not want to have with my mother, and so I waited. And when I got on the bus the next day, I turned in towards the window, slid the report card out, and there on the back, underneath Mrs. Ort's writing, in my mother's perfect penmanship, it said, what are you drinking? See, now I don't think that's funny. You know, in 5th grade, it is so hard to figure out where you belong. Am I a teenager or am I still a kid? Do I brush my hair, put on deodorant, or let my hair fly and wipe my snot on my sleeve? You just don't know who you are. Things are popping out all over. And it would have been very uncold to get in that woman's lap and throw my arms around her. But you know what? Sometimes we do not understand the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. And now at this age, knowing what I know, I would wait and I would get at the back of the line for recess. And as those kids all filed out, I would lag behind. And I would walk back in that room and I would say, Mrs. Ort. And that chair would squeak and she'd look at me and say, yes, Kimberly. And I would jump on her lap and throw my arms around her. And I would say, thank you. Thank you for teaching me that I do not need to fit in anybody's box. Thank you.